on TFT TV. I'm your host, Cheryl Martinez, and today my very special guests are Salsa champions, Hunter and Brielle. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm so honored to have you both here with me today. And I know that you guys literally just won this competition. It just happened. And congratulations on being the 2019 champions. Why don't you tell the audience real quick what this competition was?
Yeah, so it's the World Salsa Championship. It happens in Miami, Florida, every January, and it has competitors from over 40 countries. And there are thousands and thousands of competitors, so it's the biggest competition all year.
Wow, well, congratulations. That's so cool. But you know what makes their win even more special, guys, is the fact that they've actually only been dancing together for 6 months. I love that about you guys. That's what makes this such an inspiring story and why I wanted to have you guys on the show, because you actually prove that you don't have to be doing this since you were like 3 years old.
Right.
Like they actually didn't start pursuing this professionally until after college or during college?
During college. Yeah, well, professionally after college, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's huge. So to be able to start then and then go on and become world champions, I mean, is just such an honor and so impressive. And I'm sure that's like so inspiring for people that are saying like, oh, I'd love to do something like that, but it's too late for me, you know? So why don't you guys tell me real quick a little bit about how you got started in the whole salsa scene?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I got started when I was 18, actually, and a friend of mine who was a ballroom dancer, we all had kind of senioritis, and we were hanging out, and he's like, you know what? We're gonna go to the auditorium tomorrow, and I will teach you guys some Latin dance or whatever. I was like, all right, cool.
Did you even know that you had it in you, like that natural suave at that time?
I always loved to dance. So like whenever I was I always loved movement. So I remember when I was 5 years old, there wasn't a lot of dancing going on around where I grew up in Connecticut, but there was a martial arts studio, and I remember like just like sticking my face like to the glass and just being totally drawn by that movement and that activity. And also my father was a musician, so I had that influence. So I like was exposed to a lot of rhythms and stuff like that, music throughout my life. And the combination of those two things was really magical for me. So that when that happened, that really struck a spark. Yeah. And I started to pursue that. And actually that year, my senior year, I got to go to Mexico. And my dad took me on a little like graduation like trip. You know, we just went to Oaxaca, and like I got to see like just this brand new culture and the music, and like, I saw people dancing like all the time. There was one moment where I saw all these people in this one square on like a Sunday get together and dance. So all these sorts of things around 18 years old started to happen, and it really, really, really captured my heart. And when I got to college, there was a group that was doing Latin dance and ballroom, and I started, and I never looked back. Like we grew the club to the second largest club on campus. Wow. Yeah, and that was at the University of Vermont, second only to the ski and snowboard club. So in Vermont, that's pretty good.
Yeah, right.
So and then after that, I got hired at Arthur Murray in New York, because I was
Arthur Murray.
Yeah,
do you know
absolutely.
that my grandparents trained at Arthur Murray? My
so
grandparents competed in ballroom dancing.
Yeah, so many people have experiences with Arthur Murray. Arthur Murray's been around for like I think since like the early 1900s. I think I don't know when it started.
They named you
their
top instructor, right?
Yeah, I did win top instructor. And thank you so much in my 2 years there. So that was a great accomplishment. But yeah, I had a great time there. But that brought me to New York. So, I was looking for an opportunity to come to New York. That brought me to New York. I fulfilled my contract there, and then I moved on. And but just always at that point when I moved on from Arthur Murray, I had the decision of, I said, well, do I want to continue to make this a career? I knew that I no longer wanted to work with that company, but I was like, do I want to go ahead and make this a career, like continue on this path? And that was the decision that I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot. Why not? And it's obviously it was a passion. That's why I came to New York, and and I just never looked back, you know.
And now you know, like in your heart, this is what you were meant to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like the most it's something that I've never been more passionate about anything in my life. So it's really close to my heart. Absolutely.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And what about you, honey?
Yeah, I started dancing in college. In high school, I grew up in Florida where competitive cheerleading was really big. So I was a competitive cheerleader, but really never danced. And I got to school. I went to Brown. And I got there, and cheerleading didn't exist in the same way. So I was like, what am I going to do? And I happened to audition for a dance team. And then I was studying in Guatemala over the summer.
Wow.
Yeah, my sophomore year.
What were you studying there?
Spanish. I went for like an immersive,
Okay.
intensive language school. And, you know, one night they take the students out, you go to a salsa club, they do like a beginning lesson. And I was like taking the class, I was like, I kind of like this, I'm picking it up.
Yeah.
And then I remember later on the dancers came in and they started dancing, and I just fell in love with salsa. And I just distinctly remember that moment and being like, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Awesome.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. You know that I went to in college, I went to a language school in Guatemala.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. We never.
And you didn't know that about each other until right now?
No, I went to
Aren't you guys just the meant to be couple?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it
You know,
was-
I'm sure the audience is going to want to know, are you guys just dance partners or are you actually partners?
No, we're just dance partners.
Okay, all right,
And
guys.
good friends, but no, I have a girlfriend who's amazing, Misha Morales, and you know.
Yeah, she's so supportive of us.
She's also a dancer.
And
That's
she's also a
awesome.
dancer.
So that's a confident woman you got right there.
She's very confident. Yeah.
That's awesome.
The social communities that exist in dance, whether it's salsa, bachata, swing, hustle, like, you know, you can go anywhere in the world and you go out dancing and everyone's there to dance, and you just have this shared love for something, which is so cool, you know. And it's such a it's also a very healthy, positive habit to have, right? Like,
Yes.
you know, like you're
No one's going to the club to get drunk. No one's
Yeah.
going to the club with the intentions of, let me just meet, you know, my one night stand.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like they're there to dance, and with anyone and everyone. That's another thing that I loved, is that if you go out to like a random club on a random night, girls are going to be turning down guys left and right. I've never been to a salsa club where a guy has put out his hands for a girl to, and the girl was like, no, that
right.
doesn't happen.
Exactly,
That doesn't
exactly.
happen. How amazing is that, right?
It's so true. It's so true. It's just like such a safe space to come and move your body and express yourself. And like, it's also so cool because in social dancing, it's like speaking a language, right? You're like having a conversation. And yeah, I feel very grateful to have that part of social dancing in my life.
And it's never too late to start, right?
Yeah.
Never
It's
too
so
late to go. And, you know,
Absolutely.
I know a lot of the socials, even here in New York, if anyone in the audience is looking to check them out, they even have like some free classes right before the
Yeah.
actual club part of the
Yep.
night opens up.
Absolutely.
And I know you guys make some special appearances at some of these
Yes.
socials
Yes,
and do a
yes.
little surprise performances, so you guys might see them. Like, do you guys
Yeah.
have anything coming up, or any, like, if people wanted to come find you at a social and maybe ask someone to
Yeah.
dance,
Please ask
where
us
would they go? Where would they
Yeah,
go?
please always ask. Please always ask. So we have there's a great social in New York City at Iguanas called La Clave. It's a social put on by Joel Salsa. It's a great, amazing dance school here, and they have a social, like a party, one Thursday a month at Iguanas, and this 28th.
The 28th, next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday we're gonna be performing there along with a couple other teams, I think from the area, from New York. But they have amazing music. There's great dancers there. You know, we'll be there hanging out afterwards, social dancing. So if anyone wants to come out, please come out, support. Yeah, it's at Iguanas on, I think it's 54th Street between 8th and 7th or 8th and Broadway, something like that.
Right around
Yeah.
Broadway. And do you guys ever go to Copa? I've been dying to check out that social
Yes.
too.
Actually, I'm going tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, I am going tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first time we ever performed in New York actually was at Copa. We did
Yeah.
a show on Tuesdays. There's a great salsa night. called
Yes,
Salsa on
every
Tuesdays.
Tuesday. That's right. Yeah.
And they have live music. And I think, like, you know, to be able to go out, even if you're unsure, like maybe you're still nervous, you don't know how much you want to dance, like listening to live music.
It's all levels there, right? Like
all levels, yeah.
In all ages too, like something. So one thing like that instantly as well, you know, attracted me about the scene was that like you said, like you guys both mentioned, I mean, people, you don't even have to speak the same language. You could go to China, you know, or
The dancing
Russia
is the language
or something.
that you're speaking
Exactly.
with the person.
And like you will have a home, you know, you will go, and you know, the people who go there, because there is the safe space, the understanding of what people are coming there for, they understand, like, there's already like somewhat of like a character, like check, like approval, you know what I mean? Like if you're in the salsa scene, you're coming there, people understand, they already feel connected with you, you will have a community wherever you are. And it, you know, it all ages too, like,
and you can go by yourself.
I
see a lot of people
for women,
who goes to the
especially,
club by themselves.
yeah.
Salsa clubs, they do.
Right, yeah, for men and women, but I was like, for women, they can go and like not feel like endangered, you know what I mean,
or embarrassed,
you know,
or
embarrassed,
alone,
Right.
But also like age too, you know. I go and I have this one amazing lady.
I'll dance with an 80-year-old guy at a salsa club. I don't care, as long as, you know, you can spin me around a little bit. I'm good.
Right, exactly. No, it's so much fun. So it's a really amazing life habit, and just like community and phenomena that's it's easy to fall in love with.
It is. Like I said, it'll be a part of me forever. And as soon as I came back from Spain, I was like, okay, I'm going to look around and see where are all the salsa spots in New York now. I'm ready to show my moves. And so I ended up meeting my current boyfriend of many years at a salsa club. So part of me feels like that was all kind of meant to be, you know, and that was our shared passion.
That's awesome.
So I mean, just broke his ankles. We can't dance with me right now, but I'll go dance with you though. I'll go down to you. Tell your girlfriends you're gonna be my partner for a little while. Brielle, move over.
It's all right. I go to the socials. I dance with everybody.
Yes.
True,
Again, that's the point of what we're trying to say. So definitely check them out at Iguanas, at Copa. When you guys go to Copa on Tuesdays, are you there just to hang out, or are you also performing, or?
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah, tonight I'm actually meeting a student there. I'm gonna dance with one of my students.
Oh, how sweet.
But sometimes we go and perform there. Sometimes we just go to hang out or to support other friends. You know, so
it just depends. I think that's another thing that people don't generally know about, like, if they want to start dancing. Like, first of all, I think we are really passionate about the fact that everyone can learn to dance, like, you know, and everyone starts from the same spot too, right? Like, we didn't start as professional dancers. Like, we started and we knew nothing, like we couldn't dance. So I think remembering that is really helpful.
Sure. Just because you're champions now, you're not going to walk into the club and be like, oh, I'm too good to dance with you
No,
now.
I mean, absolutely not. That's like, you know, I'm so thankful for all of the people that danced with me and were patient with me when I was still, like, very, very beginner and still learning, because if they hadn't danced with me, like, I wouldn't be able to have what I have now, right? Like, and it's really, like you said, like, very rarely do you go in and see someone just say no. Like, they wouldn't do that, because everyone is just there to celebrate their love for dance. And if you do feel nervous, like, you know, when I started dancing, it was after college. I was working full time, and so I did what's called a pro-am, where I was the amateur dancer, and I had a professional partner who I would meet with and do a choreography, and, like Hunter was saying, with his student, like, often go out dancing. So not that I couldn't dance with other people, but I'd ask my teacher to go out dancing with me so that I could, you know, practice what I was learning in the studio,
social
at the social.
Interesting.
And it was very safe, right? Especially when I didn't know anyone, or if you're just nervous, that way you know, get your feet wet, and then you can go on your own after.
I know, Hunter, you've been teaching for a really long time now, right?
Yes.
And you teach multiple styles of dance, right?
I do,
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the classes that you have?
So right now, I mean, we teach workshops in all Latin dances: bachata, salsa, merengue, cha-cha, all this. And I also have extensive training in Afro-Cuban dance. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I took one Afro-Cuban class once. I mean, it was kind of hard to, like, get your body to, like, you know, get in that zone. But if you, like, once I just let go, it was really, really fun.
It's incredible. Like, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Cuban drives people crazy sometimes, because it's like, it looks very free, right, and relaxed, and it is, but it's not easy. You know? It's crazy. Like,
and it's not mentally easy either. I feel like you need to, like, you know, let yourself get there. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, with any form of dance, certainly. But yeah. So I mean, I started. It was funny because was very had a very energetic young man, you know, and so when I would dance salsa when I was beginning, I get a lot of women complaining that I was too energetic, you know? That I would be like out dancing them or like spinning them really hard, or all these things. I mean, if you go down a list of like things that are like not make not a good salsa partner or whatever, I definitely filled out plenty of those. But
I would beg to differ. Hold that thought for a second. Brielle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I am only as good as my male salsa partner.
It's true. I always say that a good leader makes the follower, usually the woman, look good. Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like a great dancer, and sometimes I feel like a horrible dancer, and it's all about the guy I'm dancing with.
It's so funny when we do our when we do our coachings with Anya, it's always like for months, I'm pretty sure this time was Brielle. And every time it's me. Every time it was me, So they're really. I had to humble myself a lot, but no. Back to the Afro-Cuban thing real quick. I mean, I would just get like people would say, "Man, you're really energetic, this and that." And someone, a friend of mine, Anara, from Boston, she's like, "You know what? Let me introduce you to a friend of mine," and it was Yesenia Cellier, and she goes, "You know what? I think you would be really great. Like, I think you should really look into Afro-Cuban. It's a really important part of salsa dancing, and it's also very energetic." So
that's why they told you to do it.
So I got introduced to Yesenia.
Gotta let that energy out somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I got introduced to Yesenia, and I trained with her for 5 years. She introduced me to a whole world of Afro-Cuban dance. I trained with her here in the city. I also went to Cuba with her. Three years in a row, three summers in a row, and she introduced me to people from the National Folkloric Dance School in Havana, and also several other dancers from other renowned schools there. I trained with them, put together routines. I also trained with people here in New York, Hansel Vayan, Hilset Mora, La Mora over at Alvin Ailey.
I love that you've trained at Alvin Ailey. That's impressive too.
I also trained. Yeah, that was another stage of my training. I did ballet and modern at Ailey as well.
It's the real deal right here.
But basically, that was my Afro training, and it really I came back to salsa just because there's more of a market there. It's a very Afro is a very niche market, but I'm still able to use that training within my salsa dancing because of course it is such a big informant of movement within the salsa genre, right?
So if someone wants to come take your Afro-Cuban class or your salsa class, what do they do? How do they sign up?
So right now, I'm going to have workshops going on this year, which, if you follow, Brielle has a newsletter that she puts out with our information on classes and things like that. I'm on Instagram as well, Facebook. I always announce things when I have things going on. I don't
you can shout out your page. It's okay.
So Hunter's is at Hunter Houde.
Yes, at Hunter Houde.
Houde is spelled
Houde. Yeah, it's French.
And I'm at Brielle Friedman, and we always post about all of our classes. We also like to share a lot of resources just for free. So every week we'll put out a tip that we've learned or something really helpful. Right. We do things like that. I also have a blog. It's vitaminb.blog.
Yeah, I was checking that out. That's really awesome. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, thank you. And we're working on more resources. We want to tell more people's stories. We obviously want to share our story too, because we did start dancing very late. We haven't been dancing together for that long, and we just we really want to encourage everyone else.
It is so inspiring. It really is.
Not to do
and I know that I think I remember reading that after just 2 months of being together, you guys were already competing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And you even placed.
Yeah, we placed third at the 2018.
2 months, guys. After 2 months of them, we must have been training like crazy then.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're dancers. We're dancing all the time anyway. We both have been dancing and things like this before we came together. We started actually practicing over the summer because I was out of a partnership, And, you know, at Brielle, we actually live near each other. And I said, hey, you know, you want to go and practice? Because I'm
But
like,
I knew why he was asking.
Why is that?
I knew. Because, I mean, I like, you know, we had danced on the same team a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And we were kind of like doing our own thing. We each had different partners. And when Hunter was like, oh, do you want to practice? Like, I had thought about, like, I thought this would maybe be a good partnership. Like, I had seen just the dedication that you brought to dance in general, and like I thought we had similarly aligned goals.
Yeah.
And so when you were like, oh, you want to practice, I was like, I feel like this is gonna be a partnership.
Aww.
Yeah. And then preparing for the competition. So, but it's true, we like got together a few times, and then we decided to dance together, and we had like 3 or 4 weeks to prepare for this competition, and I had just had surgery. So
right, I was away. I think I
Yeah.
asked you to be my partner sometime in August, and then I was away for like 2 weeks at the end of August. Coming back, there was the New York Salsa Congress that I was performing in like several times, so I had a lot of preparation during that whole week. That whole week was like getting back into shape for the Congress. And then after the Congress, we were already now into this was Labor Day weekend, so we're already into September. And the first comp, we had to get a routine made by October like 10th. It was like the 8th or the 9th. It was the 8th.
crazy.
So it was
Wow.
like
Yeah.
it was literally like 4 weeks that we put together a routine and then
It's
competed.
dedication right there.
And then we played. This was like the most amazing part, and this is what I knew. This is what I knew we were gonna have success, because with this routine we placed second under the current world champions.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
amazing is that,
Yeah, it
guys?
was
Seriously,
incredible.
kudos to you guys.
Thank
That's
you.
so impressive.
Thank you.
So impressive. After 2 months of their partnership just starting.
So it was good. And then of course you just like going forward from there, you know, everything was just,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, it was third, right? Corinne?
Yeah.
Okay, we placed third, but it felt like second, man.
well, that's the thing too. Like, you know, we went into the competition and we practiced every day to pull this routine off.
Yeah.
But there were so many moments where it was like, what are we doing? You know, like it just like feels like this is crazy. Like it's not gonna work. Like what are we doing? Like it's so stressful. I was still working full time, so it was super stressful as well. Like, you know, you were teaching all over the city, and then we kind of went to the competition. I would say like we didn't think we were gonna place. Like we went out there, we gave it our all, but then like we were going up against like world champions, like people who'd been dancing together for years and years and years, and like we're very green. Like,
do the judges know this?
Of course, the judges. It's a very small scene. The judges, like the judges, know who you are. They're the same judges pretty much. I mean, they change. They some of the judges will change.
So they know how long you've been together, and
but
they take that
know
into consideration.
exactly. They know who we are. They know who we used to dance with. They know our journey. They know you know what I'm saying. So it's a very small scene relatively.
Yeah.
You know? All dance scenes are truly.
Yeah.
You know,
I know it's funny. It doesn't seem like it at first, but
but then
once you're in it, you know,
it's a very small. Even worldwide. I mean, it's just small. You know, it doesn't take you long to kind of like know who's out there if you're in the scene and you're just you know on social media, you know.
So what I want to know is like what goes into, you know, competitive dancing. If there's some people watching the show that maybe they dance for fun and they want to take their dancing careers to the next level, what do they need to be prepared for? What are like some of the requirements and some of like the non-negotiables of what they need to expect and be ready for?
Yeah. So I think well, a concept that exists in the competitive world is this pro-am concept that I was talking about, and it's such a great experience. Like competing, it gives you a goal, right? It gives you a goal to like work towards, and I think that can be very motivating because in any journey, there are times when it's like super high and you love what you're doing, and there are days when it's really hard and you feel like giving up. And having some type of goal is just really grounding. So I think in general, like that's one reason why I started competing, and I think like we will continue to compete because it's just helpful. It moves you forward.
But how do you know when you're ready to enter a competition even?
So I think having like your coach will know when you're ready. I think like most people there are different levels too. So like if you just started dancing 3 weeks ago, like you took your first salsa class, are you ready to compete in professional division? Like, no, probably not. Yeah. But there's a pro-am division, there's probably like a pro-am newcomer division, and like you are ready for that because the experience will help you be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed, the competition world within Latin dance, or within any I can only speak for Latin dance, right? With the competition world within Latin dance is designed for, at any level, if you want to compete, you can compete. There's newcomer level, which is designed for people who have been dancing, I think, 6 months or less, right? Like literally, I mean, they have a level for people who have never competed before. So,
and the biggest thing I would say is, like, when you go out to the compete, you have to believe in yourself. Like, that's the biggest thing that prepares you. Like, yes, train, of course. Like, we train with a coach every week, and she's been instrumental in, like, our journey and, like, our success as competitors. Like, they're definitely, when you compete, when you create a routine, there are certain things you need to showcase. Like, you need to showcase your technique, you need to showcase your variety, your presentation, all those things matter. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you enjoying what you're doing? The audience really picks up on that. The judges really pick up on that.
Great. And what about you, honey? Any last tips, words of advice?
Yeah, I think just keep going. Like, if you want to do something because you love it, that's enough to do it. You don't need another reason. Do it for yourself and just keep going. Like, any journey has highs, any journey has lows. But eventually, you get where you want to go if you're just really honest with yourself and trust yourself.
And there's so many classes out there, so many opportunities, so many socials. Free classes before the clubs at these socials. Like,
This
it's
Saturday,
literally like the community is open. You are invited. Join the salsa world. I'm telling you, it's one of the most humbling, beautiful things that I've ever let enter my heart. As you can see with these guys, even though they're like up here now, they still feel the same way. So please join us and take his class, check out her blog, and let's continue to root you guys on in your future competitions.
So
I'm sure you guys are going to continue to climb the ranks, and I'm so excited to see where you guys go.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for
Cheryl,
being
so
here.
honored
Thank
to
you
be
for
here,
being here.
and it's great to be able to have this platform.
Oh, I appreciate that, guys. Again, you guys are watching Tools for Talent on TFT TV. I'm your host, Cheryl Martinez, and my fabulous guests today were Brielle and Hunter.